Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgmo. Jadon Sancho with 2 assists. Man United got robbed. Man United absolutely got robbed. Ruben Amorim scrape a win. Man United scrape a win, but a win is a win. Mudryk is proving people wrong again. Big up everybody that joined us. We're going to judge Garnacho. I don't know if it's a good performance or not. Bruno Fernandes, a good performance. We're going to be joined by Ahmed now to tell us all about Bruno Fernandes and how bad he is. And Cam, of course. But we're here with the Chelsea guys. Ahmed, of course, from the Bridge Nation, Winter Surfer. Ahmed did a watch along. If you haven't checked his channel is in the description. And big up everyone that is here. Hit that like button, people. Just doing a quick reaction to the game. Hit that like button, people. And if you're watching this in the replay, like the video, people. Listen. Talk to me about Jadon Sancho, guys. Did you guys think he did well today? To be honest.
I don't know why we're hyping up Conference League performance. It's a Conference League game. He did his job. We keep it pushing.
I think the team you played was good. Was not bad, actually. I watched
No.
I think the team you played is good.
No. You don't get the point I'm saying. It's a Conference League game at the end of the day. You know, whether or not the Hayden face is good or not, the reality is we shouldn't be winning. It shouldn't matter. The performance here should be good. And I think Sancho in general, for me, he had a good performance. He was able to beat his man quite often. He was putting a few good crosses into the box. He got his 2 assists. I think that's what a standard performance of what you expect a top player to be doing in the Conference League.
Give minutes and confidence back into him, essentially.
Exactly.
That's why think he can be. Do you guys genuinely think that Jadon Sancho can be a starter for Chelsea?
Yeah.
On the left, yes.
On the left,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys don't see Mudryk today playing better than him, for example?
No. Mudryk scored. That's the only difference.
The finish was sublime, though.
It was very good finish.
The finish was sublime, though.
Very good finish. Very good.
I think the thing with Mudryk.
Who set it up, Mo? Who set it up?
Yeah.
Who set up the...
Come on, yeah, 1-2, a pass and everything, but the finish was sublime.
You know what I will say to you?
I'm not denying the finish. The finish was a very good finish. I'm not denying it. I just think Mudryk is like...
You know what I'll say to you, Mo, yeah? I think with Mudryk, yeah, I think he's a very good finisher. He's a very good finisher. I just think the problem for him is, you know, running with the ball, dribbling. He just dribbles in straight lines, bro. And then it's very easy to happen. That's the issue of Mudryk for me. But in terms of shooting, he's a very good shooter. That's one thing I'll give him.
I think it's for some reason, every time Mudryk got the ball today, he looked like he's onto something. Sancho, yes, had a couple of good dribbles and everything. Set up the 2 assists. Number one, the first assist is like it's all Nkunku's work. You cannot deny that. It is just a pass.
Chelsea played today?
Chelsea won 2-0 in Germany. The difference between them and you.
Sancho, by the way, Mo. I've actually known you don't like Sancho.
You didn't know this.
He doesn't like him.
No, he doesn't like him.
No. By the way, guys, I don't dislike or like someone. I don't know the person. This is a false thing. I don't dislike or like. I don't know the guy. I only dislike Jack Grealish because I think his antics on the pitch.
Quick question.
Hold on. I think Jack Grealish on the pitch is just for me. Bernardo Silva, I don't like Bruno Fernandes because of their attitude. Sancho's attitude on the pitch is just a normal person. But my point about this is the high. No, I like Jadon Sancho at Dortmund. I thought this guy would be one of the best players in the world. Genuinely. From the Dortmund days. I just thought that Jadon Sancho, when he went to Man United, he was given a chance. By the way, that false thing that he wasn't given a chance, he was given a chance. You can count the good performances on one hand at Man United. One hand. The reality is, maybe he's someone who thrives in a good environment. Maybe he's someone who needs a specific way of playing to thrive. But I think in the Premier League, 3 years at Man United, he has not showed me anything to tell me that he can do it in the Premier League. There are a lot of players that came to the Premier League and struggled. And Jadon Sancho is one of them. But a lot of Man United fans deny that and assume that it was Erik ten Hag. But that was not the reality.
It was Ten Hag.
But you know what?
Okay, hold on. There are other players that played under Ten Hag that shined. I can give you examples. Lisandro Martinez came under Ten Hag and shined. Kobe Meno shined under. don't be shameless because Lisandro Martinez was injured 95%.
His first season, yes.
He was injured 95% of the season.
No, not
He was
last season.
injured, bro. What are you talking about?
Last
Kobe
season,
Mainoo
Lisandro.
from the
Nothing.
first game. Okay, let me just count the players. Kobe Mainoo under Eric Ten Hag. Yes, Eric Ten Hag is horrendous, and I have to admit that. But if you're la creme de la creme, as you guys make Sancho be, you would rise. You would do something different. He didn't.
It's not as black
So
and
that-
white.
So hold on, real quick.
It is not. It's never black and white. It is.
I missed the start of the conversation. Are we actually talking about a Sancho performance in the Conference League against some like? Is that what's happening?
No, I'm gonna tell you. Let me
was
tell you
actually-
how Twitter. Let me tell you how Twitter goes.
Because I'm confused.
Everyone now, even by the way, even Fabrizio Romano tweeted, and I don't know where is this coming from. Is he getting paid? I don't think.
Twitter pays him, so I mean he is getting paid.
Hold on. 5 assists from 5 games. Jadon Sancho's proving people wrong. And I'm like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, he was all right today. But hold on. You see that revisionism? You know, in the beginning of the game, the same account were saying, why is Sancho standing on the ball? Why is he too slow? Why can't he move forward? Why is he passing back? But then he had 2 assists, which is good assists. Oh, we robbed Man United. It's one of the best transfers.
But you can't forget
But,
Twitter. Though. Forget Twitter. If you look at that game today, yeah.
Yes.
If you look at that game today, exclude the assist because Sancho. If we're gonna base it on assists, he could have had about 4 in that game. He set one for what's his name? KDH. Whatever his name is. Yeah, he set one for
Dewsbury Hall, Habibi. Dewsbury
Yeah,
Hall.
that's the one. He set one on a plate for him. Set one for a few for Felix. Jadon Sancho, yeah. Because he doesn't get goals, people think, oh, he's not that good. But bro, the guy literally, his decision making and the way he picks out the passes, yeah. I've never watched a Sancho game where his decision making is not good. It's much better.
That's a load of shit.
Oh,
Hold on. Let me finish. Yeah, because you guys.
Section yet.
No, because you guys have been.
No, because I'm gonna tell you what. There are a lot of Sancho fans around in the world that you would watch Chelsea today, like this guy, just because to prove people wrong.
Can
No,
I say something?
Wait, because
I was on my knees for Sancho to be at United. I was the biggest Sancho fanboy you could ever find. I was on stream after stream begging for us to get him. And I'm sorry, it takes a lot of balls to a man to take a look at it and be like, he just wasn't that good. And like to come around and say, just to feel better about, the player that you thought was there going to Chelsea, it was all Eric Ten Hag. No, Sancho for me, until we see it consistently, because listen,
Di Maria
I don't hate
by the
Sancho,
way.
but
Do you rate Di Maria?
until we see it consistently in the Premier League,
Do you rate Di Maria?
Do I like Di Maria?
Do you think he's a good player?
Angel Di Maria is a great player.
Okay, so by your logic, because one player didn't work out at United, does that make them rubbish all of a sudden?
Whoa.
Because that's how you're going on about it.
You're not comparing Angel Di Maria to Sancho right now.
Understand the point. Understand the point. What I'm
No,
saying.
they will.
Understand the point because you're very reactionary and you're not actually saying anything. You're just basing it off emotion.
Have you guys met each other before? This is Ahmed, by the way,
This
Cam.
is hilarious.
Ahmed is a Man United fan,
I know,
Mancunian.
and I think it's a
Man-
joke when Man United.
You
fans
are. This is
latch
Canadian
onto
Cam.
players. Like,
No,
Canadian
because the
Cam.
thing is, if you look at Jadon Sancho's performances all for Chelsea and you remove the numbers, forget the numbers because they're a bonus for him. Against Bournemouth when he came on in the first against Bournemouth, when he came on in the second half, I remember they were drawing 0-0. He came on and he made the instant difference. He got past his players multiple times. Every single time he got the ball, he dribbled past his fullback. The same people that were saying,
against the decent
hold on.
side.
The same players, the same people that were saying that he can't get past his man, he's literally proven it. Against Brighton, he was one of their best players. Got past his players about 6 or 7 times. Against Liverpool, the whole Chelsea team weren't amazing, but he still could have easily won a pen. And then he was injured, comes back today, could have had about 4 or 5 assists. So I don't know why we're acting like he's been rubbish for Chelsea. He's been one of their better players. And he's been much better than Madueke
at
and
best.
Neto.
He's not been better than Neto.
He is better than Neto. He is better than Neto. His decision making is much better, much clever, bro. Then you can say that Nkunku had to do everything. Yeah, cool. He had to do everything. But how many players do we watch on that position that fluff their lines and either it hits the player or it doesn't go to Nkunku straight away? Sancho's passes have always been clean. Always clean. You'll never see him do Madueke stuff. You'll never. Or Raheem Sterling or Garnacho. Did you watch that? Has anyone here watched the United game with Garnacho?
Yeah, we did. We all did.
Of course, man. We're waiting for it now.
Yeah, but that's what separates. No, but the thing. So what are we talking about with Sancho? I don't understand. Like
Hold on.
He's and he's getting assists and he's having good performances. So
you're using 4 or 5 games. 2 of them, one was against Bournemouth. Cool, great, whatever. Another was against Brighton. And let's break it down. Like, to be completely honest, the Chelsea side's better than the United side. Plain and simple, they are. They play with possession. That plays more to Sancho's skill set. To be honest. But at the end of the day,
answer my question. Then that means he's more suited to Chelsea.
To just use these couple of games that you've seen, these tiny sample size to say that Sancho is one better than Neto is crazy.
So what defines a guy playing good? Then do you need to see him for multiple seasons? Is that what you're saying?
I need to see him for at least 6 months.
6
Bro,
months.
like, are you kidding?
So you've never watched Sancho for 6 months?
We're judging the guy for 4 games.
So you've not watched him what he did in Champions League. You've not watched.
I don't care about what he did in the Champions League.
So you don't care now. You're moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the Premier League. There's no goalpost.
Is the Champions League not a prestigious thing as well?
I don't care. Once again, you could bring up Champions League, Germany, all these other things you want to. In the Premier League, where we bought Sancho to be, where he is now, I need to see 6 months of proper form. Him playing good football. That's what I need to see. I need to see him.
And who does he support?
I need to see him hold down.
Cam is a United fan for years.
Was he Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out? I need to gauge what he's.
No, I need to see him.
Why does this have to do with the argument, bro? Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out? What does this have to do with the argument, bro?
Because everything he's saying, there's no substance to what he's saying.
What do you mean? I'm legitimately telling you what you asked the question. You said, "What do I need to see? How do you judge a player being good?" You're saying 4
games. You don't need to see a player for 6 months.
Thursday night football. You can tell.
Bro, you don't need to see a player for 6 months.
What do you mean you don't need to see a player for?
Have you watched Yamal for 6 months?
It's Champions League.
How many games have you watched of Lamine Yamal?
No, you're right. 4 games is all you fucking need. You're right.
How many games of Yamal did you watch, by the way?
How many games of Yamal did I watch? Not many. I don't watch the league of that.
I'm gonna go through every
do you rate Yamal?
Yeah, the games I saw play is great.
Yeah, but you've not watched him for 6 months. So why do you rate him?
Matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Jesus Christ!
His whole point.
You can use all the things you want and all the blah blah.
You just said you can't watch a player for 6 months, and you rate Yamal, but you've not watched him for 6 months. You're flip flop.
No, it's not. You're just finding different ways. Yamal is a prestigious generational talent. You're using Angel Di Maria, Yamal. Like, what are you doing?
I can name other players.
What are you doing? This is embarrassing.
I can name other players.
This is embarrassing. We have sample size of Sancho in the Premier League, and right now we don't have it with Chelsea. When in 6 months, if Sancho in 6 months looks as good as you say he's been in these 4 games, I will say, yeah, he's good.
Have you watched Chelsea games? Have you watched?
But I'm not going to say Sancho was a good player in the Premier League based on 4 games for Chelsea.
Have you watched Sancho's games?
Huh?
Have you watched Sancho's games in the?
Yes, I have watched. I've seen every one of the games he played in the Premier League. One of them,
and you're saying he's been rubbish.
I didn't say he was rubbish.
So what's the point that you're trying to make?
My point is, I need to see Sancho because Sancho, for me, when you're a player like Sancho, because when he came to United, he had terrible games of. He had a run. He had a run of games where you're like, oh, this guy might actually be good, and then he wasn't. So then we had to reset our expectations. We had a moment where we thought Sancho was going to be the guy. So for me, until Sancho does it for a long period of time, 6 months is not even that long. I'm giving you a United
fan. I'm going to ask you one question. Can you name me one player that's a young talent that we've developed post Ferguson, please?
One player that we've developed post Ferguson?
That we've developed. Please tell me.
I mean, like Rashford.
We've developed. Are you kidding me?
We did until all the different managers went to trash. Like the
Rashford we've developed. We haven't developed Rashford. What are you talking about?
I mean, until Rashford stalled his career, Rashford was not who like again.
No. Because you're saying with Sancho.
How many 20+ goal seasons has Rashford had?
Well, again, you're using the GA. That's not what
No. You don't get to pick what I use to say a player's
no, because development is different to GA. I said to you,
is it?
Has he developed him? That's different to goal scoring. Has he developed him?
We absolutely developed him, though. He became a great goal scorer at United.
Okay,
how many sought after player? He just decided he didn't want to leave
this season.
What?
How many goals has he scored this season and last season?
I don't care about this. You asked the question, then you changed the question.
No, would you say
said
Salah
a young player that we developed?
Okay.
We developed Rashford.
Salah, so what you call a good goal scorer is what Salah and Harry Kane do. Rashford's not a good
No,
goal
those are elite. Those are elite gender.
Yeah.
Like those. That's a
Rashford's not a good goal scorer. He's never outscored.
We get Sancho now.
So no, but he's making arguments, but they're not making sense. It's like,
No,
Sancho
you just
but at the
keep
same
flipping
time,
back
you
and
can't
forth.
name-
You say
No, but how do
name a young player we developed. We
You
developed
can say
Marcus
Sancho
Rashford.
wasn't good. You can say
We
Sancho
developed
wasn't
Marcus Rashford. Did we
you
not?
can say Sancho wasn't good for United, but at the same time, you can't name you one player that's young that we bought who was deemed as an amazing player elsewhere and that we've developed.
I
It's
just
not a
said we
Sancho
developed.
problem, it's a
You
United
asked
problem.
a question. You said name one young player, and I gave you one, and then you
And
just
it's
said,
not
"I'm not
Rashford.
accepting."
Okay, ask everyone else. Have we developed Rashford? Have we developed
know.
Rashford?
He's one I'm a bit mixed on. I'll be honest. I'm not really sure he's
It makes no
developed into
sense.
his full potential in my personal
said
opinion. I get that he
post-Ferguson
scores.
as well.
I get that he scores goals. I'll be real, and I think that's a fair point. But I just think for me, I don't know if he's developed into.
He's won
the
multiple
player.
trophies.
Anthony Martial, Memphis Depay, Sancho, Pogba.
I would
all
ask
these
you.
guys.
Before you go, Ahmed, I would ask the gentleman the question here, which is: do you think Rashford has developed into the player that maybe people expect him to be? Because I'm not too sure about
No,
that.
I don't. I agree with you. I don't think
That's
so,
the
think
point
it's
I would
because of
make.
our-
Obviously, yeah.
But I think it's because of our structure. I don't.
That I
think
agree with. You know what? That's
I
a
think
fair
it's because
point.
of our
Vic, yeah.
structure.
That I
Because
agree with as
honestly, if we had a proper structure, if you look at how Rashford was taking off and how well he was doing and the trajectory he was going, and I'm sorry, like we had teams like PSG offering how much? 80 M's. Like these are reports that were factual. Teams coming in for him, and you're going to tell me that player wasn't developed by us? Like, man, you just have an agenda. Like,
He's not an agenda. He's not been developed since Van Gaal. What are you talking about?
Okay, again, when you say who have we developed, and I name you a player who at one point in time could have been sold for 80 M's. I name you a player who has won multiple trophies. I name you a player. You just said one. I don't have to keep going down the list, but that's the one I'm going to give you because it's a really easy one, and he's an attacker.
You know what I mean? So you're saying from the Rashford you're seeing now to the Rashford that broke into the scene. Wait, hold on. Forget about rest. The Rashford that you're seeing now to the one when he broke into the scene. Which one's the better player?
Oh, he regressed, but that's not the question.
That means he hasn't developed. Then there you go.
No, that's not how development works. You can develop and then regress. That's easy.
Yes, it does.
No, you don't just develop it. Like, you can game has never so Kylian Mbappe, he's just like, you know, because he's shit right now. He didn't.
Kylian Mbappe has had all the managers that were good to develop him anyway.
No. But your logic. I'm gonna throw it back at you. Oh, because Kylian right now sucks. He's never developed into.
Kylian Mbappe has been way more consistent than Rashford.
But hold on. But he sucks right now, though, right? Because Rashford was fairly consistent for a few seasons.
I will never compare Kylian Mbappe to Marcus Rashford. Someone plays in the best team in League A with the best players, and someone that plays with the worst big team in the Premier League for the best.
I'm playing his game.
I'm never
playing
doing
his
that,
game.
bro.
I'm just doing what he was doing.
He's not
dropping Yamal and dropping Angel Di Maria.
What is, to be honest, this conversation, what is the point, Ahmed? Let me tell you the point, Ahmed, and you can comment on it, right? Sancho was a very talented, and people in the chat, hit that like button, because I've got over 300 people here. We need to get to 200 likes. We cannot be on this stream and have less than 100 likes. Guys, this is fraudulent. Of course, the Bridge Nation channel is in the description if you want to go subscribe, and AA United. Let me tell you, Ahmed, the reality is, Sancho, when he left Man City and went to Dortmund, was supposed to be the next big thing, the next English big thing, better than Saka, similar to Foden. There were 3 players that left the City Academy. Brahim Diaz, Jadon Sancho, and Phil Foden is the one that they kept. Jadon Sancho was supposed to be Foden at the current moment. You are hyping up okay performances. He's similar to Neto. He's similar to Mudryk at Chelsea. And let me tell you something. The game that they won against Bournemouth, he had an assist at the end, and Nkunku did every single thing in that goal.
He took his man every time.
He completed the most dribbles. And do you know what the commentators said today? He dribbled today. Do you know what he did today? He literally put a guy on his ass. Bro, he dribbled the guy was on his ass. Do you know what he did? At the end, overhit the cross, was between a shot and a cross. Do you know what the commentator said? It looked very good until that final thing he did. Because we don't know what that was. The end product. And by the way, Andrew, hold on, let me finish. Andrew and Ahmed can say, you guys know exactly the play I'm talking about. Put the guy on his ass. Took the second one. Everyone in the 18 for Chelsea
Okay, can I rebuttal that?
overhits the cross. Do you know who does that, Ahmed? Mudryk.
Okay, can I
Mudryk
rebuttal
runs
that?
with the ball,
Can I just
dribbles.
say one more thing before you
Okay.
rebuttal? One more thing. You
The
say I
reality-
can't use GA as a stat, but you're using dribbles. Like if you're gonna use any stat, like I'm sorry, you literally just said
Which
you're
one
using
is
GA.
better, dribbles or GA? Which one is better?
I'll recall everything you're saying because I've clocked it. Whether Sancho plays
You've
good or
clocked
bad,
it.
yeah, it's a lose-lose for Sancho.
Absolutely not. No.
It is a
The
lose-lose.
reality is, I'm going to tell you what the reality is.
It is a
When
lose-lose.
Sancho plays as a good player, just a good player, Sancho was brought to Man United as an 80 million pound player.
I would
He
talk
should
about-
live up to that height. I'm telling you that, Ahmed. When he goes to Chelsea and performs a 6 out of 10, that is not good enough
He's
for
not a
his
6 out of
talent.
10. He's not a 6 out of 10 though. He's been very good.
Neto's better than him.
Name me one good performance, barring that Liverpool game where he scored.
Neto, okay, you're using GA now, or you flip-flopping, my guy?
I'm
You're
not
using
flip-flopping.
GA now.
I
You
don't need
literally
to-
just said, name me one good performance, but Liverpool he scored.
This is
Neto has
mad.
been the best winger for
Really
Chelsea,
well.
bro.
No,
We
he
got,
hasn't.
we got Sancho. We got Sancho.
Sancho's been better both than
Crazy.
Mudryk and Mudryk and flipping what's his name and Neto this season from the games that he's played.
Neto
I don't know
over
why.
the last
I don't know
5
why you
seasons
lot
in the
aren't trying
Premier
to.
League has been a far
I don't
superior
know what it
player
is why they're scared to give him credit in it. Like the guy, yeah, the guy did his thing today. He got past his plays and he put so many passes on a plate. And then guys are saying, "Oh, he didn't do this and he didn't do that." I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, my thing would be that we shouldn't. No Chelsea fan or opposition fan overhype this performance. They're against.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you get Man United fans hyping his performance
They're
online,
against.
which is crazy. He plays for Chelsea, bro. He's not a Man United
Mind
player.
We went up against
Give me a
Heineken,
break,
whatever the
bro.
frig they're called. Today,
team
you
in
know
the
what I mean?
Bundesliga.
And hold on, can I just say the only reason I got so fired up?
Let Winter Surfer go come and
What
then.
it would be for him to do is over the next fixtures, over this busy Christmas period, is start putting performances together in the Premier League. That's what it is,
Hey.
and then you got a bigger sample to judge him on and
Why
work
are
it
we
off like
talking
that.
about biggest
So here's the
sample?
thing. So here's the thing.
One thing I will say. One thing I will
Can I just say
say.
this
You know
real
why
quick?
Sancho?
And
We know
shut up.
why we're talking about Sancho because he's freaking trending now.
Yo, so
By
I
Man
just wanna say
United
this,
fans,
'cause
not
the only-
Chelsea fan. He's trending. Go to Twitter, Habibi. He's trending. Go on YouTube. He's trending.
the only reason I got fired up is I'm sitting here and like I have no problem saying in whatever amount of time, just like you said, Winter Surfer player, if in 6 games, 8 games, Sancho has nailed down that left-hand side, he becomes your starter. He is taking mans on, he is scoring goals and assisting and doing what attacking forward should do. This nonsense of GA. Like, I cannot believe when people discredit GA. It's insane to me. If he starts doing all that, know what I'll say? Fair play. Fair play. It was United's fault. Sancho is built for the Prem. Great player. But when I come onto a stream and I hear somebody hyping up Sancho off of a game that I didn't even know was happening, no offense,
He's been good in every single game
it's
for
Conference
Chelsea.
League. Like when you're talking about a team that no one even knows, like I guarantee you, we ask
He's been good
100
against Brighton and Bournemouth. The
Stop
same league that
talking
you're
for
in.
a second, kid. When we talk about a team that we don't even know exists, and Sancho had a great game, cool. Like kudos to him. He should have a good game in that sense.
So
That's the thing.
so basically, what it is, it went from Sancho's not fit enough to play, in the Prem, and he's not good enough to play. In
I
the
didn't
Prem.
say I never said
how
that.
it should be.
I didn't
See-
say that.
see how the
No, I
movie
didn't. I said I need more. So this is the thing. You misunderstood. I said I'm just not going to say Sancho is this great player based on. Thank you. I'm just not going to say Sancho's this great player based on some game he played against like whatever team. Like for me, we need more, and I'm sure the Chelsea fans need more. I'm sure the Chelsea fans want him to displace Neto and Madueke, but he hasn't yet. So until that, well, he should.
He's literally started in every game for
So
Chelsea.
until he does, for
When
me,
he's
I'm
in the
like,
game.
all right, it's not. It's not.
build up again.
So what I'm just gonna say quickly. I think of Sancho. I like what he's done so far, and in the league, I think what he's given us so far, particularly on the left wing. I want to see obviously more of that. Obviously, that injury period has hampered him. I always say with any player I have, I reassess after every 6 months. That's natural. You reassess how everything is, because like again, sometimes obviously people can have crazy stinkers initially, and then they get better after on. But like, I want to see. Let's see what he does for us this season, and then we keep it pushing. But I think as of right now, would I want him to be a starter in my team? Probably on the left wing, I would probably say, and then have Neto starting for me on there. In terms of like the balance, I'll probably say, but that's it, really it.
You guys don't think that Mudryk has shown you more qualities in the games he played?
You know what the issue is with this comment, Mo? What you say, Mo? In the Conference League, I think
I don't like Mudryk, by the way. I think he lacks basic abilities.
My thing with Mudryk is that in the Conference League, he actually is okay. He does his job. He looks like he's improving. But when he comes into the EPL, it doesn't, you know, what's it called? It doesn't come on. It doesn't come out. You're trying to translate. Thank you very much.
Wait, though. Mudryk hasn't been playing like this in all the Conference League games. He actually had to improve. He was actually crap at the start of the Conference League campaign.
You remember the first game? Oh my god!
He actually was rubbish.
He got
taken off against Servette in the away leg of the qualifying for Tariq George just after the first half. So he's actually improved, but Mudryk's done well in the Conference League, but that's it. He's not done anything.
He's quicker, he's faster, he's direct. My problem with Mudryk is that he lacks basic abilities in football, like a weight of a pass, a weight of a pass. You know, a weight of a shot, a direction of a pass.
No
a brain.
And you're describing Sancho right there.
Do you know what the issue is, though, Mo? You know what the issue is?
What do you mean?
You said Mudryk lacks fundamentals and that the weight of past the decision making. You're describing Sancho.
I don't think Sancho makes good decisions, actually.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't make good decisions. Okay.
It's not me, bro. Watch the game today. The commented until he made... Okay, this is crazy. Did you watch the game?
His best attribute.
Did you watch the game?
I watched the full game.
No, hold on. Until he made the assist, the commentators kept saying one thing.
Why he lacks...
Habibi, just to back my point, because I was seeing the same. He lacks the final product. He lacks that final pass. He takes on... They said he's good in dribbling, good first touch, receive the ball, can
what
turn.
What time was that game on, by the way? The Chelsea game.
Your time, it was 6:45. It was 12:45.
Was it the same time as the United game?
No, it was before.
Sorry, bro?
Did Sancho not put many passes on the plate for your strikers multiple times?
I'll be honest. Yeah, he played a really good. But you know what the issue is, Ahmed? Yeah, I hear everything you say, but it's Heidenheim at the day, boys. It's a Conference League game. I want to be seeing this sort of thing in the EPL now. You know what I mean? I want to be seeing this in the regular game.
I just think there's too much overanalysis either way. It's a Conference League.
I agree. Why are we going to war for Sancho?
Let's not go overboard about the performance. Let's not go overcritical about the performance.
Exactly, man. Like, you know what it is for me at the end of the day, guys? At the end of the day, bro, it's just Conference League, guys. Let's keep it pushing.
Yeah, it's just...
No, but this conference... I'm going to tell you what Conference League does for Chelsea. Conference League gives players opportunities to show their cases so they can play in the Premier League, like a Joao Felix. He put in a good performance in the Conference League. Maresca chose him in the Premier League and he played well. Mudryk played good in the Conference League. Now Maresca is starting to use him as a substitute in the Premier League. That is what happens in the Conference League.
I mean, to be fair, though, I'm going to give a little caveat to Mudryk. We didn't have, obviously Sancho available or any other left winger available at the time. That's why he was starting that position. If it being fair.
Also, one more thing, though. Sancho does have a problem with being available in the Prem. So my biggest issue with Sancho is, and I've said this from when I clocked it, which it was upsetting, is this poor kid just, for me, doesn't have enough power. And he doesn't have enough power, strength, and pace in his body. Like, he's not built for the Prem, in my opinion.
I said that many times, physicality-wise.
What do you mean I'm talking about? He breaks down.
Not built for the Prem.
I literally, you heard exactly what I said.
Literal nonsense. It's literal nonsense. Pace and power hype, bro. What
you speak about the Moroccan cafe? Oh my god.
He's not fast.
Big up Mazraoui as well. That's big up stuff.
We're gonna talk about Man United team and compare them.
But hold on. But he doesn't
Ahmed, by the way, Cam, you remember Ahmed is someone who said he had better team than Chelsea.
That's really? Not true.
Wallah has said that.
Like, I'm not.
You didn't?
Wallah has said that.
You don't have better team?
Ahlif say wallahi. He's smiling, by the way, because he's smiling. I can catch him out when he's lying.
Or maybe I'm mistaking you for someone else.
So in my opinion, I've said this always when I look. I'm like, I personally don't think any footballer, like, I shouldn't look at a footballer and be like, I can probably outlift you. Like, he is not a strong individual. He's weak on the ball. He got nudged off the ball a ton at United. He's not fast. He does not have pace, and he breaks down. He was always injured at United, and you're a United fan, so you should know.
He didn't get played at United. What are you
talking about? And now he's at Chelsea, and what happened? He's already going through an injury spell.
How many games has he missed, Ahmed? He's missed like 2 games or something. How is he breaking down?
I think he's missed 3 games, right, Safa?
3
if I'm not
games.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's
Well,
definitely
acting
something
like
like that.
he's-
Yeah.
Acting like he's been out for 2 seasons. We're acting like he's been
No,
out
he
for 2
didn't-
seasons.
he didn't
Neto's the one that
play-
breaks down all the time.
Absolutely, you're
not
right. That guy does too. He does too. I agree. Both of them do. So the problem is, but Neto's a better player at the end of the day.
No,
But
he's not.
for
You
me-
don't need pace to do well in this Premier League.
You don't need pace as a
You don't need
forward
pace.
to do well in the Premier League.
You do not need pace at all. No, you don't need pace. Does Palmer have pace?
He's
Palmer
got
doesn't-
sneaky. He's
You
got
know,
sneaky pace.
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Ahmed? Do you know what I'd say?
He's got
I think
acceleration.
in the EPL, yeah, you need to have like a
He
little
doesn't
bit
always
of.
need to use his
he-
pace.
No,
That's
no,
the
no. He has like it's a little burst of acceleration, Ahmed. He has a
Yeah,
burst of
he's on there.
acceleration
He's got a
which
really
allows him to
nice
get past him.
pass.
Man. It's the acceleration that Sancho doesn't have.
pace is
where he's
in your
able to
mind.
pass his man.
He also has goals, so
Mm.
you know that matters.
That
That
helps.
is fair enough.
Like I'm just saying, like this is the thing, like, and he plays centrally. He doesn't play out wide really. He rarely plays out wide for you guys. Am I correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does.
Touchline winger.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't watch a lot of Chelsea. Not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've watched the full Chelsea game.
You just said
I-
a few minutes ago that you watched every Chelsea game.
I watched the Sancho games when he first went there. I did. I watched those
You
games.
said you didn't watch Chelsea.
No, I
This is
said I
Ahmed's
haven't,
war, man. This is Ahmed's war,
no,
man.
recently,
He's
I haven't watched any Chelsea games. I agree. But when he first got
So
to
you're
Chelsea,
actually lying then.
no, when I first got to
He's
Chelsea,
We were
When
that
I-
close
when
to
he
moving on.
when he first got to Chelsea, I watched those games. We were halfway through the season. I haven't watched Chelsea for weeks. I haven't had a reason to. What am I watching Chelsea for right now?
Put the shoes on, key in the door, and then pull
We
back.
all saw that.
Real
man.
football, real football, man. Real football, man. You get to watch some real football, man, with us, man. Don't worry, man. There we go. Better than United ball.
That close. That close.
Yeah, it's
Let me
crazy.
do this. Tom is saying you only worried the bottom 3 in the Champions League. Get there. I don't know that.
Who is that
What's
addressed to? I don't know who that is.
Tom,
No.
what does that mean, Tom?
I don't
I'm
know-
sorry.
I don't know who that
Like
is.
you only worried. Who do I worry? The bottom 3 in the Champions League. Get there. Who's that? Who's bottom 3 in the
I think he's assuming that the conference. Is there any teams that drop into the conference? Are you from the USL?
No one drops to
No
any
one drops,
competition
bro.
this season.
I think
No,
that's what I think he means. I'm assuming.
No one drops, my friend.
No one drops this year.
Abdul is
Yeah.
are a bonus for Sancho. He's an attacker. He's literally an attacker. You're doing the Jack Grealish thing. He takes on his man. He keeps the ball. He passes the ball back. Bro, Sancho needs to get GA, my guy.
I
Yeah,
can't
that's
believe
great.
when people say they don't care about GA. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
The
how do you
reality,
say-
but he is getting GA. 5 assists for Chelsea.
no, he is.
Heidenheim beat Bayern 3-2 in the cup. Up to Chelsea.
I think they came 7th last year, right? They came 6th or 7th last year. If I'm not
8th.
mistaken. 8th.
I still hadn't heard them until
I'm not going to pretend to.
I can't lie. The only reason why I know about them is because I saw a documentary about them.
It
on
sounded
YouTube
like they
a
were
few
from a
months ago.
4 film.
Literally.
I mean, it's what they sound
Kelleher and Bradley is development as kickers. Kelleher and Bradley are developers. Yeah, they're from the academy. But for Ahmed to say that nobody can develop at Man United, so you think if Sancho stayed with Amorim, he would have developed?
Under Amorim, it's
Amorim would have
potentially he could have been developed. Yes, because Amorim, for what he's shown you, he develops players. So yeah, Sancho would be taking that left hand side because he's better than Garnacho.
He's better than Garnacho. I don't like Garnacho at all.
Garnacho is
He is, but I don't think he has the attributes that.
attributes. Garnacho has. You say Garnacho has the pace, but where was his decision making today? Where was his pace this season? Nowhere. Next.
Give me Garnacho is your top scorer.
And that's who's their top scorer.
Garnacho's been rubbish. He's been rubbish.
That was crazy, bro. I
He's been
can't
rubbish.
believe
Rubbish.
that was the demolition.
Where's his pace? Like, you see his pace.
That was crazy, man.
He spent 25 minutes.
I'm not here to say Garnacho's the-
He spent 25 minutes on Sancho, but Garnacho gets like 15 seconds left.
Garnacho's awful.
He literally
Garnacho's
just
awful.
sorted him like a fly, you know. It's just, that's what it
This is
should
the
be.
problem with our
I'm sorry.
fan base, man.
No, you're the
I'm
problem.
not.
You're
I'm
the
not a
problem. I'm
Garnacho.
exposing
Like,
the
I don't
truth,
think
and you're
he's the best
brainwashed. It's a
this
difference.
red, but at least I'm not sitting here backing a player who's playing. For
No one's
Chelsea
backing you,
and
you've just been
playing
debunked,
off my
that's
own
it.
players.
You've been
Yo.
debunked. That's why. You've been debunked. I don't watch United. I might love United, yeah, but I watch football in general. So I don't
Oh
watch.
no! Again, yeah, cool. I get you don't love. No, you're
Oh.
one of those guys. I just love football. I don't really love United.
Yeah,
That's
what's wrong
fine.
with
I
that?
get it.
What's wrong with that? I don't watch just United, so I don't get the point.
Next.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's cool, dude. You keep backing players that play for other teams. Like
You've just been debunked and cooked in it. But like I said,
Are we gonna still talk about Chelsea or we're not?
I watched the first two games.
I can do this all day.
Sancho hasn't played
By the way, this is the funniest show I've
So
been
just
on a
because
week.
I haven't watched Chelsea for a few games, obviously, I have no reason to.
This is what
I
happens when
watched
it's
the
not
Chelsea
Champions
game
League,
with
though.
I
Sancho
can't
up there
believe
because,
Sancho did
like
this.
any
last
United
night, bro.
fan,
You
I
know what I mean,
wanted to
Sampa?
see
I didn't
if
think
he
Sancho
would
was
be
going to do
good.
this for me today.
You're not in our group chats.
That's why I
I'm
laughed.
simply commenting.
I'm sorry, bro. No,
You-
you killed me, bro. From my bad business, I'm gonna wait for you, bro. You know what I
There's
mean?
no way you can't be a United fan. That's crazy.
It's kill me, man.
Who would you
man.
take now, Madueke or Sancho? Be honest.
I'm taking one-legged Sancho.
Okay, the Chelsea fan, guys in the chat.
This is good.
At the current moment,
no
who are you
comment. I have
taking,
to-
Madueke or Sancho? Be honest. And guys, can we get to 200 likes? If you're having a team tomorrow and you want to start a player, who are you taking? Madueke or Sancho? Seriously.
I'm taking Sancho.
I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on this one because
Nah, Ahmed,
I'm
don't
a
say on
big
the fence.
fan.
Come on, stay with chest, man. Come on,
You
yalla,
know what I
yalla.
mean?
Maybe,
Because
We're
the
not
reason why I have
judging
to,
people here.
the reason why I
Yeah.
have to say that is because I'm a big fan of Madueke and Sancho.
I would
I'm
actually
gonna
take
be-
Sancho.
Yeah, up to-
I don't think I'm
He
gonna
knows,
make
he knows, innit? But on a serious note, I think if I am going to do it, I actually would say Madueke. Only reason why I would say Madueke is because I
Because you hate
think
football.
right now in the EPL, he can provide me that PMP that I think is needed in the league. That's the only reason why.
Bro, you don't need PMP in the Prem. This guy just said it.
Because
Pace
You don't
doesn't
need
matter.
PMP. You don't
No.
need PMP.
I think it's an
Did you rate
exceptional
Adama
rule.
Traore, by the way? You rate Adama?
No.
No,
Bottom right.
no.
The problem with Adama
Wait, hold on,
Traore is
he's
that
got-
Adama
he's got
Traore has
pace.
all the attributes. It's just
He's
that
got
he doesn't
pace,
have the
though.
brain to use his
Wait,
attributes.
one second. Let me just cook this guy for a sec. Yeah, he just said you need pace and power, and now he's telling me he doesn't rate Adama, so his logic goes out the window.
That's so. You're such an. I'm gonna go.
You're
Bro.
not-
This is
again.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous now.
It's not ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
I'm using his own logic.
This is ridiculous.
What about
You're a
Mudryk?
joker.
I think
What's
Cam's
the fuck?
thinking he can spend
You're actually
45 minutes
embarrassing.
looking at his
You know that?
newborns and get
I'm not
more
embarrassing.
sense out of
Yes,
them.
you are
I'm
embarrassing.
using common
What
sense.
am I getting for?
You're embarrassing, Ken.
I don't know. Why is the question again, Ahmed?
He said you need PMP to cook in the Prem. I said, do you rate Adama Traore? He says no. So what's he
Okay,
talking
and
about?
I'm going to tell you what it is. You need PMP to cook, but PMP by itself doesn't cook.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, but
does that make
You
sense?
need the brain. The problem with Adama Traore, guys, I'll just say
Ahmed, hold on, Ahmed.
Sorry,
Did
bro.
that answer the question, my guy? Ahmed,
That still doesn't even
did that answer the question? You can have all the PMP. I can get a freaking LeBron James.
Yeah, but no, the way
PMP.
you're talking, yeah, as if Sancho's Mertesacker. I've seen him burn people with pace. I've seen him. He might not be the quickest. He might not be the quickest, but he's intelligent enough to get past his players. You don't need pace to get past players. What I'm saying is that
You know the
he's got-
problem with you is Sancho. You are using an attribute that is very good at Sancho, which is he's fantastic in taking on his man. You know what Sancho doesn't have? Quickness and a good decision making in the Prem. It might be in Bundesliga. We haven't seen the decision making in the Prem yet. Not yet. At Man United, we haven't. At Chelsea, bro, Ahmed, he played only 6 games for Chelsea. He was hooked twice. Out of the 6 games he played for Chelsea, one of them, he was hooked at 45 minutes after a stinker. And the other one, the whole game, he did nothing.
he
And he
created
passed the ball
chances
to,
for United, though. He did.
let me talk. Let me talk, please. You spoke for a while, and we all, it's a conversation back and forth. For Chelsea, let me analyze the situation for Chelsea. He played 6 games in the Premier League. 1 game, he was hooked in 45 minutes. Against Bournemouth, he took on his man many, many times and didn't do anything until he passed the ball to Nkunku, who literally dribbled 3 guys in the 18 to score a goal. Against Brighton, he was hooked and he completed 14 passes in 70 minutes as a winger. 14 passes, Ahmed, against Brighton.
But he did
Right?
give him the link up with Palmer in that game. I remember.
He
that.
didn't do. By the way, output-wise, there was nothing going on at that from him. There was nothing
Against
going on
Brighton,
from
he
him.
was very good. Okay.
Yeah, go. By the way, I think you're confusing the game with another game. For Chelsea, he has done well. He hasn't done bad. I never sit here and say he done bad, and he hasn't done amazing. The reality is, Jadon Sancho, based on what you guys, the way other people talk about him, he should be doing amazing in the current moment. in this season, he has not been better than, I don't know who to say. Like what, Harry Wilson?
This is
Whoa, that's crazy. I can't like Harry Wilson's been actually
That was
pretty
kind of
decent for us.
crazy. But
Yeah,
like
that's-
I just don't understand the crash out for a player that's like it
No
doesn't make any sense to me.
No one's crushing now.
No, you are. You're finding all these reasons to back up.
I've used the points, and all you've said is like a bunch of like meaningless stuff in it. I'm just using your points.
No, you're just being an idiot. I'm sorry, and I don't like calling people dumb. But
But you're out doing it. You're out.
Okay, we are not gonna go into.
No, I'm
both are-
sorry,
Like
it's like-
I value both of you guys. To be honest, Ahmed is my guy. Is my younger brother, and Canadian Cam is absolutely someone I respect. But the reality is, the problem with a lot of Man United fans is that you guys think that you sold the gym. I literally tweeted once, Jadon Sancho has not done anything for Man United. For Man United to say, "Oh, we should have kept the guy." Why?
we shouldn't have. And here's the
Because
thing.
we
Here's the
employ
thing
Garnacho,
with Sancho.
that's why.
We've seen
Be
enough.
like us with Sterling.
Listen, we saw enough with Sancho. And
No,
sorry, I
Sterling, we
apologize.
know he's
Let
good.
me just say this. I apologize for calling you an idiot. I got emotional there. But when you do
No
things
worries.
like when you do things like Traore, pace and power, it's like it's really hard for me to take you serious because like you're not actually having a conversation when you do things like that.
I'm
You're
having-
diminishing your own football intelligence when you do things like that. So
I
I'm
am
just
having a
saying it out loud as an adult, saying that like if you want to have an argument or debate,
He's the one that's heated.
when you say something like, "Oh, pace and power, Tommy Traore," like we all know, you're just trying to do a gotcha moment. That's not really how you have conversation. So anyway, as a United fan, when we sold Sancho, when we sold him, we were like, but some people who have this love for him were upset about it. I get it. There's Sancho FC. United, we have a weird player FC thing with us. Same with Pogba. And I love Paul Pogba. I absolutely love Paul Pogba. But when a player goes and there's reasons for them to go, and you can take a look back and say, well, it didn't work out for us. And you can actually analyze the situation critically. For us, he was never good. Like he had a string, not never. I shouldn't say never. He had a string of games where he showed some potential. Ollie gave him ample opportunity to really show out. Then the next manager gave him ample
Under Ralph,
opportunity.
he was our best player.
Ragnick gave him ample opportunity to show out, and he didn't take the
He
opportunity.
was our best player under Ralph.
If he was
Under Ralph.
this good, if he was that okay, best player under Ralph, and what did that equate to? Not much. So my
Is it-
point.
so it's a team game, no? Is it not a team game?
Oh my God!
He did his
Every
part.
time I say something, you just like you're
Oh,
killing me.
Can we move on? Can we just move on from this conversation about Sancho? How about that? Let's actually talk about United European League.
Everything I say, you just like, oh, okay, cool, dude. Like, cool. I'll just stop talking.
Let's talk about
That's
Sancho.
Can I-
Let's not talk about Sancho, please. Yeah.
Can we go back to the conversation? Can we? 45 minutes on
The point
Sancho is
We
crazy.
sold him because he wasn't working for us, and we haven't seen him perform long enough or well enough in the Premier League to be like we sold a gem. We don't know if we did yet. If he does show out in 6 months, if Chelsea is in the top 4 and Sancho's a big reason, guess what? I'll say, damn, we probably should have got a bit more money for him. I'm not going to say we shouldn't have sold him because at the end of the day, it wasn't working for us. And like you said, just because a player doesn't work for United doesn't mean it shouldn't work somewhere else. But it also doesn't mean he was going to work for us. That's the thing. So we had to get rid of him anyway. He wasn't happy here. He didn't want to be here. He had to be moved on. Plain and simple. That's the situation.
So I want one question. I don't want to like.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do you believe that if a player has more J than another player, it means that they're doing better?
Oh my God.
What do you mean? I'm asking a question. You value GA, don't you? So I'm asking a question.
What's the context?
What do you mean? What's the context? If a player gets more,
No.
GA,
What's the context? You can't just say more GA. Is he better or not? Christian Wood has more GA than half the league right now.
But you said a few minutes
Hold
ago.
on. No, what's the context?
He literally answered about Ahmed. He literally said Chris Wood at the current moment has more GA than a lot of people. Does that mean he's good?
No, I'm asking him, how does he judge
So
players?
I answered it. Chris Wood now.
You're mentioning Chris
No,
Wood.
Chris Wood. Chris Wood has a bunch of GA in the league right now, more than most players.
Okay.
That does not mean I would want Chris Wood as my striker.
But you just said like a few minutes ago, I can't believe that people don't take J serious. That's what you
Because
said.
it does matter.
Because it
Yeah.
matters. Ahmed,
Okay.
it matters a lot in football at the end. Let me tell you something, Ahmed. If you have 2 strikers, one of them is
But you're talking about
plays-
strikers. I'm talking in general, though. I'm not
okay.
talking about.
Let me tell you something, Ahmed.
Sancho's in
Who do,
tatter.
who do you think is more beneficial to a team? With all due respect to everyone, Frank Lampard, for example, or any other midfielder. If you ask a coach, who would you rather have? Someone that gives you 200 goals in his career, or someone who maybe will pass the ball around and do well?
Scholes was more integral.
So you would rather have Paul Scholes than Frank Lampard, for example.
Yes. No.
Even though if both play the same position, one of them will win you the game by scoring the goal, which is the hardest thing in football, and someone who will pass the ball very good in passing. Which one?
Not just passing. I've seen Scholes win his titles after retirement as well, and he came back from retirement. So I've seen Scholes be integral. No player what Scholes, bro. Even
by the way, Frank Lampard was integral, but because he scored, people disregard the other things he did. By the way, a lot of people disregard. He's very good. By the way, his passing range was amazing. Frank Lampard, actually. For the people that watch Frank Lampard, his passing range was absolutely fantastic. He is a very strong physical midfielder. Plus, he scored a lot of goals. People disregard that.
Very defensively too, man. He's defensive work.
But you know what? Because he scored a bunch of goals in his career, people disregard that and think that's the only thing he did. Absolutely not. I watched the majority of Frank Lampard games because I was watching the Premier League from way before. And he is one of the best midfielders I've seen because of the GA, by the way. Because plus, in addition to what he does, he scores a lot of goals. That is not, for example, Kevin De Bruyne, great midfielder, give you a 20 assists a season. That's fantastic.
all right, he's a good goal scorer, Frank Lampard. That's fine. I'm not saying he's not a good
That's
midfielder.
the most important. By the way, for anybody above a defensive midfielder, by the way, Ahmed, for anything, apart from the back four or the back five or whatever, and the two DMs, the most important thing and the best attribute is for you to get on the score sheet.
Okay,
the best attribute.
You can also make an argument. The reason why with Frank Lampard, he's known for his goal scoring. Now, if he didn't have the goal scoring, he wouldn't really be talked about. Paul Scholes doesn't have.
That is
Paul
wrong,
Scholes,
actually.
We don't know.
That is wrong.
Because everyone talks about.
No idea about that.
That is false. That is actually false.
Do you not think you're being unfair to Lampard though? That's being unfair to Lampard because
because
the reason why I said that, Ahmed, is before he even came to Chelsea and before he was getting the proper GNA, when he was at West Ham, he was getting spoken about quite a bit before he made that move.
He's got more assists than Gerrard in the Premier League, don't you?
Which you know, it's also the thing about scoring goals is you need to be intelligent to get into the spaces. You need to be smart. You need to know how to get into the spaces. People talk about a Ruben Nistelrooy and he's a tapping merchant. No, if you play football, which I assume you do because most British people do, just being able to get in the box and be smart and get into those positions to score those goals is something that's extremely important. The reason why people go at Rashford for not having great decision making and not being in the right position is because I will agree he does struggle in that part of the game. If Rashford was a little bit more intelligent, was able, he would score bangs more goals, but he does miss that part of his game because it wasn't developed, because he didn't have the right coaching. So for you to sit there and say, oh, well, Frank Lampard wouldn't be talked about if he didn't score goals, I think that's incorrect because
that's his biggest reason why he's in that conversation.
Because he's fucking elite tactic.
Like he's not player. And he had
the striker stats.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't think you watch a lot of Frank Lampard. In the 2000s, Frank Lampard, it is not only GA. Frank Lampard used to literally be everywhere on the pitch. Pass, shoot, assist, tackle, everywhere. But he was.
Let's look at the game against Barcelona. Look at the semi-final against Barcelona in the UCL, that we at the Camp Nou. Look what he was doing in that game alone. Bro assisted Ramirez for the goal. He was defending for the vast majority of that game too. Yeah, that is a perfect example.
It wasn't just that. He held the record for most consistent starting games in the Premier League.
That itself by itself is a great attribute. I think Frank. You know what? Because he scores. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Ahmed. Wallah al-Azim. Because Cristiano Ronaldo went to Real Madrid and started being the striker and score goals, people forgot the 3 years he fucking used to dribble from halfway line. Bro, I so fucking... You know one of the reasons I don't like Man United? 2 reasons. You were so lucky in the treble in 99 against Bayern Munich. That is number one. You were so lucky in that game. Effenberg should have scored and he should have lost that fucking game 2-0, right? Because they fucking missed and you were so lucky to score 2 set pieces. And at the end, in 07, between 07 and 09, when he left, I promise you, Ahmed, Cristiano Ronaldo used to dribble 4 or 5 players before he even gets on the opposition's 18.
I know he changed
People-
his game when he went to Madrid.
People forgot. And I'm giving you an example of how football fans think, not you. And they only put Cristiano Ronaldo in the box of a goal scoring forward. You forgot everything he fucking did for Man United.
The crazy thing is, one reason why Cristiano Ronaldo, when he came back, wasn't as effective was he lost a lot of what?
Pace.
Like
In the Premier, I promise you, Ahmed.
League.
I know you watch.
Saudi. That's why he's gone to
I know you
Saudi.
watch all Cristiano Ronaldo. And I'm not talking about you, Ahmed.
So I'm just
Every fan thinks that Cristiano Ronaldo is just a pace and power goal scoring
he's
machine.
not.
At Man United, he didn't score a lot of goals. I used to literally give me the ball from halfway
But-
line. I'm dribbling 4 guys.
But the man used to be able to turn and just go and blow past whoever because of how powerful it was, because of how
I
much
think
pace
that
he
we
had.
have to. I think that we
touch
have to
me.
learn from. Mentioning Lampard doesn't mean we're taking anything away from Scholes. Do you know? We can have the conversation, still big up one player without taking anything away from
The
another.
biggest problem England had was having those 3 guys all at the same time and not figuring out that you had to sit one of them. Like that was
or
that was
change
the biggest
or
problem.
change the formation or something.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
You
Instead
just-
of going 4-4-2, we remember we were going to buy Gerrard. We were going to play with Lampard in a 4-3-3 with Makelele. We were going to
Exactly.
see if it would work. But obviously he got that story, urban legend.
Anyway,
he got threatened and stuff.
Shift to the conversation.
Thank
After
God we got off
15
Sancho,
minutes,
sorry.
you
Good
don't sell an elite player on a caveat above 14. That was crazy, actually. Man United. Telling you. Shit,
what?
if you know,
Basically,
you know,
the obligation to buy is that we buy him as long as he finishes above 14th place for Sancho for 20 million.
Do you know what I think that was? I think they did it because we hired Maresca. And they
That's
thought we were
really
gonna go
Ahmed,
back.
Ahmed, come back to the screen. Come back, Ahmed. When can we judge Amorim and who the players you think will survive Amorim?
Ooh.
Ahmed Diallo.
Boy.
Ahmed Diallo's going to survive. Kobe, Mazraoui, Dalot, Ugarte,
Delict, Lisandro.
Delict, and Lissandro. I don't know because of his injuries mainly. So I'm thinking long term with that. Onana as well.
Johnny Evans.
The plays that I
Let
don't
me
think.
ask you something, Ahmed. Do you think at the current moment, Ahmed Diallo is more useful to Man United than Garnacho?
120%. He should be
Oh, that's a good question. You know?
he should be the poster boy of United, not Garnacho. He should be the main guy. He's the one that you should be building the team around. He's the one you should be prioritizing and getting the best out of because he possesses qualities as a player that none of our attackers have, and it's evident. It's evident, but he doesn't have the PR of Garnacho. He doesn't have the celebrations like Garnacho. He doesn't have that overhead kick like Garnacho. But in terms of as a footballer, yeah, and what he does in a game,
Well, the overhead kick is a big thing, by the way. It's a very good thing to have.
yeah. But Emre Can scored an overhead kick. Come on, like they've also rubbish.
Rubbish
player
won a
scores-
Champions League, did he not?
Emre Can is not a bad player. He's
Emre Can won a Champions League.
Yeah, but he's
Not a
not.
bad
No, did he? I don't think he was.
Did he? No, did he?
He's got an overhead
No.
kick.
He left this season before they won the ECL.
My
That's
bad.
why.
My
No,
bad. My bad.
Remember.
Overhead kick. It was a great
Yeah,
overhead
no
kick
problem.
here, but scoring a crazy goal every now and then doesn't
I
make
rate him
you
as a good
great
player.
player.
though.
So yeah, Ahmed Diallo is more integral to Amorim's plans. There's a reason why he didn't start him today because he wants to save him. I know he came on as off the
Didn't
bench.
Garnacho start the previous game, bro?
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
started.
did. Yeah, he did.
And he started.
So here's the
started-
thing.
No, but the point I'm trying to make, I think Mo, that question you proposed is actually a good question because if you look at it,
Do you know why? Because it's the fucking
Realistically-
attackers. Who survives, bro?
because
Ask them to
realistically,
tell me.
Diallo.
no. Your question is good because realistically, right now, if we're looking at Garnacho, he is producing numbers. Numbers
What numbers
wise,
is he producing?
if you actually look at him
He's
statistically,
doing
Eight goals and-
fucking
eight goals and
goals.
four assists.
What numbers is he
He's doing
producing?
high
he's
goal
producing
scorer.
numbers
You
wise.
just said
but
he's
like-
been rubbish this season.
But if you look at his
You just said he's
performances,
been rubbish.
no, but
He's got
This is
pace
why
and
GA
power
is
as well.
flawed. This is why
Wait,
GA is
no,
flawed.
I'm good.
It's a flawed argument.
let me finish my statement. Ahmed. Let me finish my
Flawed.
statement. If you
8
look at
goals, 4 assists.
Garnacho, GNA wise and putting goals on the board to help the team, he's doing that. But if you look at his performances, I think it's fair to say he hasn't been great in general.
So can we add context to the
Whereas-
goals and what he scored?
Whereas with
Why
Ahmed,
did he score the goals?
let me finish, bro. Whereas with Ahmed, I think is having good performances, but his performances are still not leading to him getting the goals and
Ahmed's
assists.
going to be the new Jesse Lingard.
You know what I mean? So that's
So-
all I'm saying. You know
so
what I mean?
here's-
It's just
So I find it
That's why
interesting.
you can't.
Go ahead.
That's why you can't use the GA, because if you look at Garnacho's goals, if you look at all of Garnacho's goals, it was literally in the cup games, the Carabao Cup games, and it was again today. So in the Premier League, his numbers in the Premier League aren't great, and his performances aren't great. Just because Diallo might not have amazing, outstanding numbers, the most important thing as a player is good performances, because the output will eventually come. You can't improve someone's decision making overnight.
So here's the thing. To be completely unbiased, because I'm not a fanboy of Garnacho or Ahmed. I think they're both young, and I think they both have had inconsistent performances throughout this season. I don't think Ahmad's been perfect like I get it. For the football hipsters, he looks nice on the ball. He's a great dribbler. He's a good technical player. I understand that. But at the end of the day, the end product does matter. And I do think he has a great end product on him. I do. I really do. And I think it's there. But I'm not going to say I'm not going to say I think he's better than the manager does, because until the manager shows it by starting him over and over and over, that means he prefers Garnacho. And if the manager prefers Garnacho, I don't know more than the manager. I'm not going to be one of those people who comes out and says, oh, what's he doing when he doesn't start him? Because right now, you're setting yourself up for that. Because we don't know. We're 2 games in. We've barely seen this system. I do think Ahmed survives because he's young. I think Garnacho survives because he's young. I think they're both 20 years old. 21, I think Ahmed is, and Garnacho's 20 years old. I think
22 and 20.
22 and 20. So Ahmed.
I know Ahmed plays like an 18 years old.
Yeah, he does. But it's also he's been missing time. He's been hurt, right? So for me, he's got 2 years on him. Garnacho still has a lot of time to improve. It's not like the kid's not this. He's not a bad.
I actually agree with you, by the way. I think Garnacho has a lot of time to improve his passing, dribbling, decision making, shooting, passing, getting past his players. Like he's got too many holes in his games to be a star.
I don't think you just named a lot of holes. I don't think he gets past players. He dribbles past players all the time. It's just what he does with it sometimes isn't the greatest. He gets past players all the time.
He doesn't get past players like that. And he doesn't possess any attributes that's outstanding.
You like the dribble stats. Go look up the take-ons and dribble stats and tell me what they are.
It's not about.
By the way, Ahmed, I want to tell you something, Ahmed. By the way, a player taking on player with pace is called a dribble. By the way, in football, for a manager or someone who watches football, I don't give a fuck if my player fucking does couple of step overs or does an elastico to get past the player. Or he just pushes the ball and runs past the player.
Which is
as for me, I don't care. I think the manager cares. As long as the player is in the rear view mirror, who cares? How do you get past the guy?
Survive personally to answer the question. I think Rashford doesn't unless Rashford gets back to the Rashford we know where he is scoring. I wouldn't even say 20. He needs to get back to scoring at least 15 goals a season. And he's got to show it this year. And he's got to show it soon, because I think Amorim's not going to have a lot of time for him because of his age, because of how long he's been in the Prem. I don't think he's going to have time for him. And I'm a huge Rashford fan, and I can say I don't think he survives. I think from our midfield, Mainu should survive for sure. Ugarte 100% survives. We know Casemiro and Eriksen are going to be on their way out. When it comes to the center backs, you're going to have Euro. But we don't know because we have to see him play. But I have to assume because he's young, he's going to survive. When we talk about the wing backs, you're going to have Mazwari. You're going to have. I completely agree with what you were saying on the terrace. Dalot is. We don't need to look at it.
Quality, bro. Why is this hate on Dalot, bro?
I would take Dalot, man.
Watch the Man United fans turn on Dalot because he's playing left wing back and he's passing the ball back. It's quality, bro.
Yeah, but then you have Rasmus, and I think when I think about the players that are going to survive, that's probably the core. Bruno, for me, he's going to survive because until a manager decides to drop him, because all the United fans want to. He sucks, but then
how does he keep surviving, man? How does he keep surviving, man? Because
he's not a bad. We're gonna keep repeating Bruno Fernandes.
I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think
he's not a bad footballer. Bruno Fernandes is not a bad footballer.
If United want to go forward, and Amorim wants to do the right thing, he ships Bruno and Rashford out.
Okay, so if he doesn't, so every manager who comes in and decides Bruno should be there, they're all wrong, and you're right.
No, did you hear what Bruno said? Did you hear what he said about Bruno, by the way? Did you hear what he said? His conference about Bruno and Rashford. He actually said that Rashford as a 9, he struggled against the 2 big centre-backs in the Ipswich, and we have to figure out a situation and how to accommodate for him. And he has to want it more. So essentially, he's saying that Rashford as a striker does not work. His back to goal. Hold on, let me finish. His back to goal isn't great, and he has to want it. He has to find it in himself. That because we can't always baby Rashford. He has to literally find it in himself.
But no one wants to baby Rashford.
No, but the thing is, what I'm saying to you is that this team that we have here, the 2 players since 2019, it's always been Bruno and Rashford as the main guys, and it's led us to nothing. We've played the same type of football, counter-attack for 6 seasons, and we've been in the slumps. It's time to move on. Go get a Cavascilia from Napoli. Go get a different type of midfielder who can actually keep the ball, retain the ball, and move better. It's not about getting Bruno like for like. Just because Bruno gets GA, yeah, it's about getting a player who fits the system. If Bruno does not fit the system and Rashford doesn't, bye-bye. No sentiment.
What did he say about Bruno today, though? Because you're using his quotes. What did he say about him today?
He said that Bruno, every time you can't put Bruno near further up the pitch yet because he's always trying to go for that hoofball.
Yeah, but what else did he say?
What do you mean? What else?
You're just picking up the
What else?
I will read, everyone. I will read.
Go for it.
He is the most experienced players we have. He is the right player to dictate the tempo of the game. Mason was always with his back to the goal, which is difficult. And Bruno is better with the goal in front of him.
Use the other quote. Go to the other quote.
Yeah, maybe that was the last game.
No, use the other quote. Use the other quote. He's not going to publicly shit on his players and say, "Oh, he's not going to."
He
shit
literally shot on Bruno the other day.
No, but that's the point I'm talking.
You kill listen.
That's the point I'm talking about. You're picking one quote. You're picking one quote. You're literally picking one quote where he said, there's another quote that he said, that he cannot play further up the pitch because he's always trying to look for the longer ball. It's literally right in front of us. I don't have the quote. Go read it.
That wasn't today.
It doesn't matter if it's today.
No, but it does because
he said it after one game against.
He said that and he corrects it the very next game. Then what? He
didn't correct anything.
Oh, nice. Game. Is that Blue Jays hat?
Yeah, it's man.
Hey, respect. No, dude, you got to be objective. Like, if you're gonna say that Bruno needs to be moved on and the manager doesn't rate him, and you're just gonna pick the one negative quote, but then ignore the good stuff he says, you can't be taken serious. Like, I understand. Like, you're just cherry picking one bad.
No one's cherry picking anything. No one's cherry picking anything.
You just ignore it.
At the end of the day, that Bruno, he's inherited this team. This is the team that Ten Hag has assembled, and he's going to try and figure out who fits in the system. So we're going to see who's going to fit and who's going to survive. We're going to see. And then if Bruno does survive, then I'm not going to go anywhere. But if he doesn't, I rest my case, man. That's it. Because, bro, you cannot play.
But if you just said, hold on, you just said you're not going to go anywhere if he does it. Like, so you're not going to change your opinion.
Bro, I never hide anyway. I never hide. But
you're not going to change your opinion, though.
But hold on. Bruno Fernandes.
What's going on, bro?
Let's be objective. Bruno Fernandes has qualities. Number one, he's very good in the short passes and even some of the long passes. The problem with Bruno, I'm being very objective, he needs to be kept in check.
100%.
He needs someone to tell him, you're not the main guy. Just keep it ticking. Pass the ball around. He creates angle, which is what Ruben Amorim said. Ruben Amorim said he's good in dictating the game. Dictating the game doesn't mean you have to be a Pirlo and play long passes. Just pass the ball around. Keep it ticking. Right? Pass the ball around. That is what Bruno does. That's what Bruno does.
That's the problem. That's the problem, though. Bruno deep down doesn't want to do that. He wants to get the GA.
But you don't know deep down. He does that for Portugal. You know why? Do you know why he does this for Portugal? Because they're way bigger personality than him in Portugal.
And they don't need him.
He doesn't get away with it. He wouldn't fucking get away with it.
He was doing it with Ronaldo.
But like,
he was doing it with Ronaldo and Casemiro and Varane.
Our team has needed Bruno to be that guy for how long? Like, we've needed it. Like, when
I watched him in the Euros. I mean, he was awful for Portugal.
No, but when he wasn't awful in the Euros. But anyway,
he wasn't awful, bro.
He was not awful in the Euros.
He was.
Listen, when Bruno came into our team, he basically saved us that season. Then the next season, he continued to be our talisman. A player like him has basically put it on his back to carry us. That's what
did he lead us to?
To the point. I mean, he's won multiple trophies with us. Like
multiple.
Yes, multiple.
Multiple.
How many is multiple? Is multiple more than one?
Multiple trophies. What are you talking about, Bruno?
Bruno has won multiple trophies at Man United.
multiple. Name it, what, 2 trophies? And you think those all were Bruno Fernandes? Who scored on the... What's he talking about? Bruno Fernandes is not the guy that...
Lock it off, man. Lock it off, man. Lock it off, man.
Bruno Fernandes...
We need to lock it off, man.
It's the funny job that in my life.
It's midnight, man.
This is
It's midnight,
the
man.
funniest
It's midnight.
show I've done.
Lock it off, man.
By the way, Cam, I completely disagree with you. To sit here and have the audacity to say that Bruno Fernandes led you to trophies. It's fucking wild.
It's crazy,
It's
isn't it?
fucking wild.
It's crazy. He's not let us get anything.
That's so fucking shameless. It's unbelievable.
He lifted them. That was all. He lifted
Bro,
them.
to say that Bruno led you to trophies, it's so shameless. It's unbelievable, bro.
It is
Multiple.
shameless.
He
They're
said
the best,
multiple.
but he did.
He said
There's-
multiple as well. the
Don't
other
be
way.
shameless now. I don't know you like that. Don't be shameless now.
Hey,
Don't
man, I
do
gotta match
that.
the energy.
Nah. Bruno
No, but at the end of the
Fernandes.
day, Bruno Fernandes has been our best player for years. He has been. At the end of the day, that's facts. He had been. Like when
Actually,
you-
that's a fucking fact.
that's facts. Like unfortunately, that's fact. That is the fact that I'm trying to make. Is Bruno Fernandes and when
Post
you have
Ferguson, you're
that,
saying Bruno's
when
been our
you-
best player. Post
you-
Ferguson.
No. Since he came to the club. Okay, who is better than Bruno since he came to the
since
club?
he came to the club, he's a-
Post Ferguson, are we talking about?
No.
I said-
Yabni, listen to the question. Since Bruno Fernandes came to the club in a COVID year in January of
Who's
2020,
been better?
who has been better than Bruno?
He's going to say Sancho.
It's not about that. It's not about that. Not about that.
Now?
Yeah, Martial's been better.
No, okay,
I'm not trolling.
you're trolling.
I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling.
Martial, Ahmed,
Martial.
don't be
Bruno-
stubborn. I don't know you like that.
Bruno's best season came with Martial as a striker. He's the one. He's the guy. He was the guy. It's not.
MashaAllah, man. MashaAllah.
Bruno's not been good for many seasons, by the way. I don't know why we have this sentiment towards Bruno
Bruno
Fernandes.
Fernandes has been our best player since he came
He's
to the
not.
club.
I thought no one was bigger than the club, but the minute we say sell Bruno, they throw a tantrum. I don't get it.
No one cared about Bruno.
No, but yes, it's true. Martial was good, bro. What are you talking about? Our best football came with Martial in the team. What are you talking about? The best football that we played was Martial as a striker.
Oh my god!
I'm being serious. Well, I'm being serious.
I know, which is crazy. That's what I like. The fact that you're
I'm
being
gonna tell you something about Ahmed, which is I respect Ahmed for it. He's never not serious.
no, I know he's being serious, which is why it's crazy. Like he looked dead in the eye and said, "Martial has been." That's
Ahmed, I know you don't like Bruno. I don't know you don't like the way he played, but you can't deny that Bruno has qualities. There's no way Bruno can survive that long as a professional without having qualities. It's impossible. He has an eye.
Every professional is going to have quality because being a professional footballer is not easy to do. But there's different levels of quality that we're talking about, like decent, rubbish, decent, amazing, and the elites. And Bruno Fernandes, he can score. He'll score the odd good goal. He'll make the good assist every now and then. But the way how he plays, it's not sustainable for a team to start
Yeah,
dominating.
but it is annoying, and I know that it is annoying. But that's why I said he needs to be kept in
Here's the thing.
check.
Do you think, Mo? Do you think that what Odegaard does for Arsenal, Bruno can do it for Arsenal as well? Do you think so? Be honest.
if he's coached
How
that
he
way.
plays. With the way how Odegaard is literally, it goes through him, yeah, and he hardly loses the ball like that. Do you think Bruno can do that?
It's hard to say, but I think he can. Yeah,
I think if he's coached in a way like we saw today, he barely lost the ball.
I don't think he's as talented as Rashford as Odegaard, though. I don't think so.
I basically this is how I look at it. If we'll find out with this new manager who wants to keep the ball, who's not playing counterattack football, who's not giving instructions, because you could just tell by the managers how we played. Like the instructions have always been Bruno, be the hero. They have been. It's been pretty clear and obvious. Because obviously he wouldn't just do it. It's like you wouldn't be able to survive all these managers playing the way you're playing if you're Bruno if the managers weren't okay with it. I think Amorim has come in and has made it very clear already. I don't want to lose the ball a lot. I want us to have more possession. He's been clear. So for me, over the next 6 months, see that? Give it time. See what I'm saying there? 6 months. If Bruno still is hooping the ball and giving it away, and because I have no problem with Bruno trying to open up defenses. I know because we saw. I'm sorry, that how many games? It was like 4 games where we didn't have Bruno, where we looked like absolute dog shit and created maybe 3 chances. That told us a lot about our team. That told us a lot about why Bruno does what he does and who he is. If we see over the next 6 months, Bruno becomes more in control, isn't just losing the ball every chance he gets, and is playing the way he played for Portugal, all of a sudden it'll be pretty clear that Bruno Fernandes is a lot better than people thought when it comes to playing a certain way. He just doing what he's instructed to do, it seems. And before, he was trying to be the hero because he was the hero. That's the facts. He was our best player. He still is until somebody steps up. And
what was his best season, Bruno? What was his best season?
Bruno's best season? Like his first 2 seasons probably were his best seasons.
1920, yeah.
Well, 1920. I can't remember the first season.
1920. But funny enough, that's the same season that Martial won us the most penalties.
Oh my god!
It was. Martial was the reason that why we were winning so many penalties. He was the reason why Bruno scored so many goals, because you know why? He gets the ball, he controls it, he holds it, gives it to Rashford, gives it to Bruno to get him behind.
And then the season after, Bruno was just as good.
Exactly. So Martial was
both seasons. But Martial didn't play the next season after. He was hurt the whole time, from what I remember.
He was hurt. Yeah, but you can see
Bruno was our talisman.
You can see the significant difference in how our football changed. We don't have Martial. We don't keep the ball without him. He's literally the glue when it comes to keeping it in possession as well. So
he just asked his best seasons. I said his first and second. His first one, it was a flash in the pan, which was great.
Even playing at Athens anymore. We know about that. How is Martial doing at Athens?
What's that got to do?
I'm just asking, bro. You know, because he doesn't even like the thing is like usually
no piece of glue over there. That's all.
The problem with Ahmed Stakes is that he always wants all the technical players to play for his club, and that's not gonna happen. Not every.
I mean, I don't. It depends what positions you're talking about. If you're gonna get like a guy like an Ugarte who might not be the best on the ball yet, at least compensate for a guy next to him who can, Ugarte and a ball player next to him.
So who do? Okay, but just a last thing before we end this. Who do you think should play next to Ugarte, Meno or Bruno? You have to choose one.
You know what he's gonna say.
I'd say Kobe.
Kobe.
I would say Kobe.
Do you think you have more control with Bruno? You don't think you have more control with Bruno?
I think we'll have more control with Kobe in the team. Yeah.
I think we create less.
You can create as a team, by the way, because the system is not...
I just think we would create less. I think when Kobe comes in, it'll be interesting to see. I have no idea what's going to happen when he comes in. It'll be really interesting to see what the manager does. I can't really clock what he's going to do. Actually, zero idea. But I do think one thing that Bruno brings to our team that's really important is creativity. He's a very creative player. At the end of the day, like, I know you didn't like the long balls today, but they worked. They worked. And I know the manager probably is going to talk to him about, hey, like, they worked, but I'm not trying to do that all the time. So we'll see the progression of the team with Bruno in it. And at the end of the day, I don't know if we're a better side if Bruno sits and Manu plays, or vice versa, because I haven't seen it. So I'm not about to make a bold claim saying Kobe should start over Bruno or vice versa. All I know right now is Kobe is an up and coming star. He's hopefully going to take on that talismanic role and become the engine of our team. But until he does, like, I'm not about to shelf Bruno, who is...
You know who would be perfect for Bruno's position, by the way? And we should have got him instead of Mason Mount. Madison.
Who?
Madison. That's who we should have got.
We should have gotten Madison instead of who?
Bruno. That's who we should have got.
Oh, Madison. I'm not going to touch that one.
You know, I am a big Madison fan.
Not gonna
have you watched Madison?
Madison is the most overslept player. It's crazy. He should have been the player.
I think he's a little bit erratic. He's a little bit erratic, in my personal opinion.
He also is made of, like, he just doesn't. Another thing is Bruno. When's the last time Bruno's missed 4 games in 5 seasons? Like, I can't say I'd want Madison, who plays 20 games every 2 years, like, over a guy like Bruno. I can't say that in good conscience. That's kind of crazy. Like a guy who literally runs himself into the ground for the team, who has shown nothing but class. I'm not taking Madison over Bruno.
Listen, Darren Fletcher ran his socks off with this team, man. Doesn't matter, man. Like,
we're not comparing Darren Fletcher to Bruno, though. Bruno has way more quality than Darren Fletcher. I'm saying the combination of talent, the combination of his creation, the combination of you just go extreme.
What did Bruno do to you, bro?
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like,
he's just not that good, bro. He's just not that good. I'm telling you, bro. Like the minute you'll see the football we played. The minute he's out of this team, I'm telling you.
We saw it. I saw it.
Can I ask you a question? Ahmed? Right now, if you remove United, who is your favorite team to watch? Or it can be any of the top 5 leagues, etc.
What in the Prem?
Top 5 leagues, in general, whatever you want.
I like Barcelona. I like watching Barcelona. Madrid aren't really great. I mean, they've got about 20 left wingers, so they're not really great to watch. Who else? Chelsea are all right to watch as well, and Tottenham. I don't mind Tottenham to watch.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Tottenham.
Inter as well. I like Inter, to be fair. They've got a good manager. That's the only compliment.
By the way, we have zero.
Right at the end.
I hate watching Inter.
We have zero technical players.
Inter doesn't even play the best football.
Turan and watching Turan
correct me if I'm wrong.
Watching Lautaro Martinez is Spain, bro.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Inter Milan doesn't play the best football in Serie A.
No.
In
I like
Serie A,
watching Bayern.
we
Bayern, amazing.
You think so?
Yeah, we are one of the most possession teams. We're one of the highest scoring teams in the league.
I like Napoli a lot more. I think they play better football.
So you like Conte? Listen,
people don't understand what Conte is. Conte is one of the most attacking managers you've ever watched in your life.
You know what it is, man. That season, the second season of Conte under Chelsea.
Yes, the second season.
He's scoring too much, man.
Same.
You know what I mean? I can't watch it football normally anymore. When
you had to watch Eden Hazard away at the Etihad play up front by himself,
oh my God,
the
flashbacks are too much, man.
You don't forgive any manager.
Bayern Munich as well. I forgot Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is another.
Bayern Munich is really great to watch, man. Even Leverkusen, I like to watch them. Those two are really good teams to watch.
Right, I gotta go because my computer's gonna die.
Anyway, Tom is saying United owe 244 million owed in transfers in 1 year. They are in the mud. If Man United, I'm telling you guys this before we end the show, if Man United cannot make transfers in the next window or two, I think you're screwed.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Do you think
I think people understand it is not about the starting 11, Ahmed. If Maguire leaves and John Evans leaves and they let the guys go, you have no backup for the league.
They lose half the squad, essentially.
Yeah, they lose half the squad. If they can't spend money, they lose half the squad.
We always say that every year that they can't spend.
Yeah, I think we'll be
money
fine.
and then they end up.
Yeah,
I think they'll be all right.
Do you think you guys spend in Jan to get a few players for
No. I think
they'll get one. I think they might get one.
I think we're going to be extremely
maybe one
pragmatic.
wing back, maybe one wing back or something.
No, I think it's going to be Amorim. Just try and figure out what you have here. Any of it works, cool. If not, we'll figure it out.
Maybe a loan or something.
Maybe, but I'm not keeping my hopes up.
We'll see. Anyway, listen, people, before we go, AA United in the description. The Bridge Nation is in the description. Make sure to hit that like button before you go. Subscribe to the channel and also subscribe to the guys. I will see you guys tomorrow in the National League and maybe a birthday stream at 8 p.m. UK time, guys. It's my birthday, actually.
This is the Irrational League. Irrational League, this show. This is called Irrational.
It's with Sancho FC, man. Big up, man.
I don't even know how to describe this in the description.
Ahmed, I've never seen you upset, but fine. Cam is smiling, you're upset. I've never seen that.
No, I'm upset.
Next.
We'll see you guys soon. We're out of here.
Next.